Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative.
I think we already
I'm sure
did
he'd
this.
be concerned that we still
did?
have several arks missing.
We were tired.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
Any more information you can give me on the missing arks?
No, and that is the distressing part.
All the sexy
Asari,
ones?
Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the
Turian
initiative
arcs,
can
man.
never
Dude.
be fulfilled.
What am I gonna do? The sex arcs? The Asari, Turians, and Solarians?
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do? Wait, why is there not a Krogan arc? Racist.
I don't know. What is that? Hold on. Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Are there any other arks we should expect?
We had hoped Quarians would be part of the first wave, but before departure in
What?
2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems
thank
they're
God.
also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological
Oh,
needs
okay.
Are
caused
you fucking kidding me?
complications.
We're not gonna see
We won't see them
Quarians?
for some time
Fuck
to
you.
come.
Sounds like the Nexus has had a rough time of it.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster. The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, is dead.
How did Jean Garson die?
With the rest of the leadership, when the Nexus hit the Scourge, a large wing of stasis pods was destroyed. They were killed instantly. These people traveled 600 years and died before they even woke up. Gian Garson never glimpsed Helios. She never saw her vision realized.
Kandros mentioned something about hitting the Scourge. How did it play out?
Criminal elements took advantage of the emergency and preyed on people's fears. An uprising followed. We had no choice but to turn to the Krogan to deal with them. They crushed the mutiny and the criminals were banished. Exiles, we call them. I doubt we've heard the last of them. They're led by an
Okay,
outlaw,
so
Sloane Kelly.
That sounds familiar
She used
to the
to be
Krogan
one of
Wars.
ours.
You guys always seem to go to the Krogan when you're ever in trouble, and then
Help us!
and then you go back to oppressing the shit out of them. Sounds like somebody needs to reverse the genophage, you dickheads!
Where are the Krogan?
What?
There don't seem to be many Krogan around.
Good riddance. The Krogan
Whoa.
demanded a greater
Oh,
say in
wow.
political matters.
What
the
the
last
fuck?
place you want them involved. Their muscle, nothing more. Good for fighting and lifting
What the
heavy
fuck?
objects.
Well,
Wow, that's
obviously.
so
When they didn't get what
rude.
they
Fuck
wanted,
off. Right,
left.
alright. See, now people understand why I'm always, like,
Sticking up for the Krogan.
for the Krogan.
Well,
Because, like, I don't care if they are, like, even if all the things they say are true, it's still, like, they act like that because they were uplifted and then used and then abused over and over again. And it's the same shit all over again.
yeah.
Bullshit.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people
Oh my
tried to
God.
uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to
Wow.
Andromeda? We'll all be
This
dead.
is like...
It's like they met, but alright, I'm not trying to defend this dude at all. Because back in the Milky Way, the Krogan proved themselves if you go along a certain path.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Morden died for nothing. But you can't even bring that up because you don't know it happened.
Yeah.
Because they left before before the...
Before that all happened. Yeah.
But still, even then, like,
Yeah, does anybody know, like, where he said 2185 is when we left?
Yeah.
So, do you know where that is in the timeline?
It's like a little bit before. It's a little bit before the Reapers. Like, they knew the Reapers were coming, and that's why they sent the arks.
Yeah.
So, like, this was supposed to be like, okay, this is our backup plan to continue our species as a whole, like all of the species right now, to just go. Because they knew the Reapers were coming, like all the governments knew. And so this was
Can you imagine being left behind? Right?
Well, because the people who were left behind probably still had some hope, too.
Yeah, we're gonna send these people on an ark. And don't worry about the fact that we're calling it an ark, and that's, like, literally the name for a salvation ship. You guys will be fine. I'm sure. Right? We'll figure something out.
Yeah, so this was, like, their backup plan to continue civilization. So
Yeah.
they all knew that the Reapers were coming, and I guess they're just like, whatever. We're all fucked. Oh, we're fucked over here. Everything's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they can set up a... Why didn't they, like, give them schematics to build a mass relay on the other side? To at least try.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But then it would be like, they'd have to acknowledge the ending to Mass Effect 3.
Well,
That's what they did. They made it so we wouldn't have to acknowledge the ending to Mass Effect 3.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was talked about, like, very early in the development process for this game. They were like, yeah, don't worry, we'll figure out a way around it, because everybody was kind of sitting there being like,
Remember that time you fucked everything up? Okay, anger's coming.
Because it's like, well, but also...
Like, if we talk about the ending
Even
at all,
if-
I'm gonna get so fucking pissed. Hold on. Let me just... You talk and I'll just, like...
Okay, so what I was going to say was that even if people didn't have so many disagreements about the ending, even if it was like 3 good endings, but that were wildly different, they still have to figure out a way around that. And so the easiest way was to be like, nope, we're going to just send these people.
Okay, we seriously have to stop. The rage is building and I can't stop it. We have to move on to a different topic.
So
The rage is building, Stacey. I can't. It's starting.
It doesn't surprise me that given the amount of different aliens or like races they have in this game, that like you find like different people are racist towards each other.
Well, of course, that's quote unquote realistic. It doesn't mean I can't think they're a dick lord.
Oh no, I know that. Like it still makes them kind of, but at the same, not like I'm saying like, oh, it's good like to have racism
I
for
know.
like realism, but like at the same time,
There's a reason why we prefer Star Trek to Star Wars. Okay?
I don't know that I would say that.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer.
You mean like
I
prefer
hope
as
the
in like the
Nexus will
future
serve
that
as
we
the seat
want,
of government
right?
for us all.
Not like prefer as in like the work itself.
What are you talking about?
Like as if it like you mean prefer like if I had to pick one of those to live in, I would probably pick Star Trek, as opposed to prefer like if I could only watch one for the rest of my life, I would pick Star Trek or Star Wars.
Both. For me, both. If I had to choose between Star Trek and Star Wars, I would only watch Star Trek and live in Star Trek. I would live in Star Trek and watch Star Trek. I would watch myself.
Oh my god, have you ever read the... We're getting, like, really off topic now.
I'm just saying that,
Have you ever read the
Star
book...
Trek is important, and they don't have... Well, they do have racism in Star Trek.
Yeah, have you ever read the book Red Shirts?
No.
Highly recommend it. It's about, like, red shirts in a Star Trek series. But, like, their side story to the main storyline. It's
Sorry that we're talking so much. It's just,
sorry.
we're, like, really passionate about Star Trek and sci-fi. Initiative Origins.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Jean Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth. Wealthy. Young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered. And as with
Motivations?
most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness, finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
Sorry, the girl I've been talking to texted me.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing
Wow,
body in Andromeda.
alright, you...
Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian,
Can I get an option to call him out? Is there a call out option?
I mean, but
Nothing I've seen here has
he
changed
basically just acknowledges that the Solarians tend to be racist towards the Krogan.
Yeah, but he's not really acknowledging racism. He's acknowledging an opinion. Does that make sense to you? He's acknowledging that, oh, we tend to think they're stupid.
Yeah.
And, like, I still feel like my point. He's not acknowledging racism. He's acknowledging an overall opinion.
No, I said he's acknowledging, like, his racism.
I don't feel like he was acknowledging his racism. I feel like he was acknowledging that he has that opinion.
If you were to say, I, as a person, have a low opinion of an entire race, you are acknowledging your racism.
But I feel
Because
like
there
he's
is
not
literally
seeing it as
no-
I don't think he's seeing it as a negative. That's what I'm saying.
I
He's
know.
like, he's acknowledging it, but he's not seeing it as a negative. He thinks it's justified.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it. Like, if
I'm
to
not
me,
saying
if somebody
that he sees it as bad.
okay, because like to me, if somebody was acknowledging the racism, they'd be like, "Oh, I had this racist thought, and I know that it's wrong, so I'm going to try and correct it."
But some people don't view racism as bad.
Yeah, but that's to me
You're-
if somebody was acknowledging their racism, because sometimes people can have prejudiced thoughts without acknowledging that it is racist. Because you know how people will say it's not racist, it's just true. You know.
Yeah.
That's how I feel he's saying. He's not saying, I'm not racist, it's just a fact.
Well, I suppose I just, like, it's like, you know how some people view some characteristics as bad and some people view them as good?
Mhm.
Like, some people view racism as justified. So you're assuming that when somebody acknowledges racism, they have to agree with you that it's bad. When that's not exactly... Racism is bad, by the way.
Yes.
I'm
welcome
not like...
welcome to Geek Remix, where we take video game politics way too seriously, way too far, way too seriously, and everyone's like, just play the fucking game.
Okay, yeah. Jesus. Let's
What's
move on.
Hold on. The space politics.
Yeah.
I enjoy that they have this guy be racist, but at the same time, I don't enjoy it. Does that make sense? I appreciate it. It's there. I understand it's there for a reason. I feel like they're having a lot of commentary with the colonialism and the racism and the politics. I feel like they're really pushing it more than they did in the original trilogy. And I don't know if people dislike that or like it, but personally, I'm enjoying the mental challenge.
Well, I enjoy that they have the conflict.
They're
like,
acknowledging it.
Yeah.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here, or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made.
I feel like as soon as we
If
get the
we're
chance, I
lucky.
want to overthrow this guy.
It
Not
is
because I disagree with him,
maddening.
but because his way of seeing things is not conductive to a peaceful...
Conducive?
Is not conducive to a peaceful overall social system for all species.
I want to see who the other options are.
No, it's us. We are. I want to be the leader.
You know, it's funny because sometimes, like, people will always, like, send messages to us and be like, oh, like, blah, 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 you want to take over the world? And I'm like, no, I do not want that job.
No,
thank
awful,
you.
because I'd suck
That's
at it.
horrible.
No, because I have my own prejudices.
Yeah.
I would like a council of people that I don't listen to.
So.
I'm just saying, like,
I just have no desire for that much authority or responsibility.
Yeah, I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I would be like peace mediator officer or something.
Yeah.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic.
Also not
eccentric,
racist.
Larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management.
Oh my god, you know who
Then
would
all
be
7
really
leaders
helpful in
above
this
me died.
situation? It sucks that
I
they're not
was
here.
next in line for
The
the role.
Quarians, because they've been dealing with this for 3 centuries.
Mm.
Oh, 3 centuries before the 600-year travel. But they would come in and be like,
Wait.
listen, we know what to do.
So, were they saying that the Quarians would be here later?
Yeah,
or-
they said they were going to be here later. They're going to
Yeah.
arrive with the Hanar,
Yeah,
the Drell, and some other species. Probably, I really hope they bring, what's that one species that lives, they're like, the sharp teeth ones. They live for 20 years. You guys know what I'm talking about, the really messed up ones. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, but they're not real. It's
Yeah,
fine.
wow. Wow, really?
They're not real. It's okay. But it would be great if when they show up, because maybe part of the reason they didn't have the Quarians show up is because they would easily fix a lot of the problems that they're having. Because A, they know how to deal with this situation because they've been used to it for a long time. B, they're very good at fixing things.
Mm-hmm.
And C, they have a lot of the Hanar and the Drell are both very efficient at the whatever it is that they do.
Whatever it is that they
No,
do.
the Hanar are really good mediators and communicators, and the Drell are really good fighters and helpers.
Well, so maybe the reason that they included the species that they did at this point is for conflict. Like, to create conflict.
yeah, so that's probably why they didn't include the Quarians, because I feel like the Quarians would come in and be like,
Did you
okay,
notice that the ones that they did include are pretty much the humans?
what do you mean?
We have the human arc. That's the one that we're with. They're like, you know what would create the most conflict? Just throw a bunch of humans in there and see what happens. See how bad they fuck it up.
But the Citadel, or whatever it is called, came in, and, you know, the Solarians are always a problem because they think too, quote-unquote, logically and not empathetically enough. And then the Asari... Wait, have we seen Asari yet?
But, like, we don't even know how many of them are here.
Yeah, I
Remember?
haven't
Because
seen...
a bunch of them left.
I haven't
so-
seen any Asari yet,
Yeah.
right? And they're usually the mediators of the galaxy, so they're not helping. And then the Krogan are, you know, naturally... I wouldn't call them aggressive, more as, like, aggressively defensive because they've
We're taking
been...
20 minutes to get through
I'm
this
sorry.
conversation.
I'm sorry.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the Initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure
He's
that you do.
referencing that poem, The
Right.
Path Less They're
Sorry.
Taking.
Yeah.
Did you know that poem is not actually about being the person who takes the path less taken?
Yeah, we watched the video
I know,
together.
I'm talking to the video. Talking to the thing. Did you know, we learned this from Today I Found Out
Yeah.
video, is that the
Cool
poem,
stuff.
the poem is actually about how the guy looks back and he thinks he made the right choice because he made that choice. Right? Or you're better. You're more eloquent than I am.
I don't, well, thank you, Mari. I don't remember. I just remember, like, the only part of that I remember, because I'm pretty sure we watched it while we were falling asleep, was that he was saying, like, it's not really about what you think. And that's, like, what I remember.
Oh, he said that it was actually about how this guy is remembering taking the path, and then at the time he didn't know which path was good, and then when he looks back on it, he remembers it as the better choice because that's the choice he made.
Yeah.
So it's really a poem about perspective rather than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. people like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Engineering update. We are working on accessing more power from the Hyperion. All non-relevant repair requests are currently on hold until power coupling is complete.
Hey, you okay?
I'm fine. My arms got the brunt of it.
Stuff exploding like this happen often?
Back right after the mutiny, we had a lot of this happening. But not lately.
I wasn't there during the mutiny.
Lucky. I thought we were done with this, honestly. That maybe I was just being paranoid.
What is there to be paranoid about?
We've had 3 malfunctions in the past week.
That's not good. Sorry. Understatement.
Yeah.
I feel like that I want to be
And now I have
compassionate, but
more
everything that
repairs.
compassionate says sounds dumb.
Well, sometimes it doesn't sound compassionate to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I don't know.
Like, this has to stop.
Like, that
What?
that doesn't sound compassionate to me. Like, compassionate would be like, I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this, or something. You know?
Let's see what she says. That's not...
Whoever's doing this has to be stopped before someone gets seriously hurt.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm an engineer, not a PI. I've scanned all the potential sabotage areas I can think of. But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion docked.
Yeah, I guess. Wait. That's it. You can't possibly be involved in this. You weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Sure thing. What can I do?
If you could scan these other panels while I fix this one, that'd really help. I've sent the locations to your Omni team.
Yeah, because
Just send me the data when you're done.
it sounds a little harsh to be like, this person has to be stopped, you know?
And he's like, what? What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, and he's like, I know, but I'm not an investigator. I'm an engineer.
This is a pretty view.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want to know how many people, when the lights came on, went, oh my god!
With the makeup.
Yes? You realize everyone can hear you.
Did you see somebody sent us an Instagram on, a message on Instagram comparing that woman with the, like, really jacked up makeup to Ashley from Mass Effect 1? And they were like, oh, Ashley actually looks better.
Oh god. Actually, for Mass Effect 1 looked great. Why? What was the joke?
The joke was that woman looks crazy? Was that she doesn't look better?
Oh. Oh, hey. Female Turian. Whole green face, man. That's a bold look. It's because they've been in the dark so long. This Turian's gonna look in the mirror like, oh no.
Oh god, what was I thinking?
I did not color match my foundation. Fucking Drell gave me this foundation. Dad damn it!
No.
Ben, this is Yolanda. You busy? Alright, well, I'm not seeing any.
I'm just looking at everybody's.
Look at that hair.
Do you have any ideas, Stacy?
Her, Addison.
Oh god,
Yeah.
what is happening?
And we're done.
Want to keep it,
Hyperion
do it.
status-
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father.
Your face.
What?
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec. Not how he died. I pulled those logs. What happened
First of
with
all, what happened to your face?
Pathfinder?
And why is your face tired? That's so weird. She's an alien infiltrator. That's why she looks so fucking weird.
That was a really weird thing to say.
No, I think she's an alien infiltrator. And then they were like, what do human females do? I know.
Put on makeup.
Put on makeup. Purple eyeshadow with bright red blush.
Bright pink.
I cannot take her seriously. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Bright pink does not go with her skin tone, first of all. And then she's wearing purple eyeshadow. You can either have one or the other.
Well, I mean, a pop of pink isn't bad, but she's got too much.
She's got too much. I'm sorry for judging your makeup, but you're in command and I can't take you seriously. Like, everything that's compassionate sounds dumb.
In the moment, it saved my life. But it seems my father meant for me to get the role, eventually.
It isn't hereditary. If we wanted an inbred monarchy, we could have left half our gene stock back home. Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
How do you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me. Left a perfectly adequate career as a chief officer.
I think
Provincial capital, too.
you
Only
made
a new
an
galaxy
okay
could pull me
choice,
away.
For
And
what?
here we are,
No, I'm talking
idling.
to her.
For what?
She's like, I had a great job, and I left to come here for a new galaxy. And it's like...
Yeah, but the other galaxy was gonna die? Like...
Yeah, and it's like, you know that things wouldn't be the same if you'd stayed, right?
Like, you know the Reapers were coming.
Yeah.
They knew the Reapers were coming. That's why they sent the Ark.
Yeah.
You called my father Alec. No one does that.
A lot of us joined the initiative because of his vision. We shared of it anyway.
What the
Were
fuck?
you friends, or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking. Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a pathfinder until they've
Why is she
past
so
found
weird?
something.
I think
Much
she's
like a colonial director with our colonies.
I'm not your new mother. That's not even close to anything I said.
Yeah.
She's very strange.
No. I think... I understand why she said it. She was aggressive about it because we said you called my dad by his first name. Nobody does that, implying that they had a romantic relationship. Because she said, "Were you friends or?"
I just thought it was weird that she was saying, "I'm not your new mother." That's like, okay, lady.
No, that was her aggressive way of quashing the romantic relationship rumor.
Oh, okay.
There must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk. They don't attack, they disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to poetry. That's how bad it is. Talk to Kandros if you haven't. He's unfortunately become the head of our military. And as soon as he realizes it, we're in the shit.
You don't trust him?
I trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it. Ugh, goddamn poetry.
There's also this strange technology. Has anyone studied that?
We've tried. Not me. The brains in research. They're supposed to know their business. The current excuse? The tech we dug up on Mars was more advanced, but it was plug and go. The tech here thinks different? I don't know. We've mostly avoided it. And from what the Hyperion logs say about Alec, maybe that's good.
You've had no colony successes in over a year? How many tries is that?
Less than you'd think. The Scourge, spoiled worlds, exiles, hostiles. We can't just plop down an outpost and expect picket fences. We need the Pathfinder and Sam to scout, evaluate, and inspire. The initiative promised a goal. Andromeda has not cooperated.
And if it had?
Beautiful utopian horseshit. Colonies that produce and support each other. The Nexus as Citadel.
I
Not
kind
headed
of
by
feel like
Tan,
we're gonna talk to the
or
rebels
even
and be
me.
like, oh yeah, we like you.
What rebels?
The exiles.
Oh, okay. I thought they're not here.
I know, but we're eventually going to talk to them, I assume.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Ryder?
It's Pathfinder.
Ryder, we're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people
Okay,
won't trust
well,
you.
bye.
Why I don't trust
I mean,
you.
does she
Prove
realize
me
that we
wrong.
literally just got here?
Well, I realize that she's like super stressed out at the same time because, like,
I mean,
I
it's
can't
been
imagine 14
14 months with like no hope.
And also, you know how like when people go through shit together and then someone else comes in new and you're like, well, you don't fucking know me, like you don't know our problems. How dare you try and come in here and like help us, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, they probably feel like she might have like a savior complex. Oh, there's Miss Sari.